Yeah. I'm on planet Earth, man. Christians gaslight themselves to believe Christmas isn't pagan. See, what you gotta understand, in order to be a Christian, you have to gaslight yourself. Point blank period. Like, let's talk about Christmas. Since Christmas is the most popular, it's the biggest, the richest. Christmas is a huge holiday. Like, it's the biggest holiday in the country. What you gotta understand is that the United States is a pagan nation. So we're gonna do pagan shit. You know what I'm saying? Thanksgiving, Easter, Christmas, Christianity, and God we trust. So the United States is pagan, right? So in order to be a Christian, you gotta gaslight yourself. For one, you gotta gaslight yourself into believing that we have a Greek Messiah from a Hebrew book. So that's one way of gaslighting yourself. You also have to gaslight yourself into believing that the cross isn't pagan, even though scripture says in Deuteronomy, do not worship any graven images. And you also got to believe that Christianity is has a trinity when scripture says that the Most High and the Messiah is one. So you got this. In order to be Christian, you have to have cognitive dissonance. Pretty much, you have to read the scriptures, and then you have to use your cognitive dissonance to be like, yeah, I just read this, but I feel like this over here. Yeah, I just read this right here, but I want to go over here and you lean into my own understanding. So that's what Christians do. Christians lean into their own understanding because how the fuck do you get Jesus out of a Hebrew book? That's a Greek name. So, the Christians gaslight themselves. So I'm saying that to say that Christians are going to celebrate Christmas and tell you why Christmas isn't pagan. See, Christians are pagan in denial. You know what I'm saying? Christians are pagans in denial. So once you understand that, you can see, okay, well, in order to be in denial, you have to be delusional. So of course Christians are going to do delusional things. That's why I tell y'all, don't look at Christianity as like an educational source for the scriptures. Don't look at Christianity because it's man made, it's pagan. So Christians have told themselves that Christmas isn't pagan. Meanwhile, paganism was before Christianity. Like point blank, point fucking blank, bro. Point blank. So what you gotta understand is all this shit pagan. You feel me? I want y'all to understand paganism. And we're gonna do a video about paganism. I think I already did one. I'm gonna do one. See, that's what people don't understand. Religion distracts people from paganism. That's the culprit right there. Paganism and symbolism and syncretism. So that's the thing about Christmas is that what you gotta understand is people that don't think are able to be manipulated by paganism. You feel me? That's where all your religious stuff comes from. That's where your holidays, your Thanksgiving, your Easter, your Christmas, your January, your days of the week. It's all about symbolism. See, I'm sounding like a conspiracy theorist, but it's not even a conspiracy. It's just common, uncommon knowledge. You feel me? So that's what the goal is. The overall goal is to get people to do pagan things, do pagan stuff. That's the goal. The goal is, hey man, we run the world. We're the bad guys. We're pagan. Do what we do so we can distract you from what you're supposed to be doing, which is worshiping the Most High and the Messiah, the true and living, the one and only. That's what you're supposed to be doing. See, what people don't realize is if you really was about scripture, you would keep the feast. More people know about Christmas and Easter and Thanksgiving than they do about the Feast of Tabernacle or the Feast of Passover, the Passover feast, the Feast of Unleavened Bread, the Feast of Trumpets. The seven biblical feasts, you know, that Christians don't even know about. You ask a Christian about Passover, about the Feast of, ask a Christian what the seven biblical feast is. They couldn't tell you. That's because paganism has distracted them, you know? They don't know about it, you know? And so if you can distract people with bullshit, then you can keep them away from the truth. I'm in a group now where we're trying to find out, okay, there's seven biblical feasts, but if you read the book of Jubilees, feasts like Passover or like just the feast general, it tells you what days to observe the feast. If you read Leviticus and I think what's it, Exodus, Jubilees, and Enoch with the seven biblical feasts, I'm not sure if it's every feast. I think every feast has a assigned day, if I'm not mistaken. I think every feast, all of the seven biblical feasts, are supposed to be done on a certain day. And by the feast having to be done on a certain day, by us being on a Gregorian calendar, they use calendars to confuse us so that we wouldn't know the correct day to observe the biblical feast. And so we're in a group now where we're trying to find out how to be able to accurately calculate the days according to scripture so that way we can partake in the feast on the correct day. And so that's what we're in the works we're doing now. We're in the group. Cause I'm really into scripture. So yeah, y'all are, doing pagan stuff and y'all are serving pagan holidays, but we're supposed to observe the feast and we're supposed to observe the feast on the correct feast days. And so we're looking at how to figure out the correct days for the feast. Because like the book of Jubilee says, what they're going to do is they're going to make holy days unholy. They're going to try to make unholy days holy. And so that's why it's important to know the correct days so you can serve and have the feast on the correct day. But yeah, man, like I said, they distracting y'all with paganism. Um, it just what they do to keep y'all distracted. And as you can see, people are still out here buying stuff and buying gifts. They got their Christmas trees up and got the Christmas decorations. And yeah, that's what we're gonna get into. We're gonna let y'all know, okay, y'all see the distraction. Religion is the distraction. Let's show you paganism. Like if I was a pagan, I'd be like, damn, they just stole our shit. This is a festival of Nimrod's birthday and Yule and Saturnalia, and y'all are saying it's the birth of Jesus, which is how you know that scripture is in error because Christmas is about the birth of Jesus, but Jesus is not the Messiah of scripture. That's some pagan man-made guy. Yeah, Jesus is a pagan man-made guy. So yeah, man. It's like however you want to spin it. You want to say it's about Saturnalia. You want to say it's about Jesus. So yeah.